We are here. My Hero Academia is hitting the top of the charts, and we're here to see what it makes it so plus ultra.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Oh yeah, play that good song.
Yeah!
Go to the club.
And thanks for watching the Mighty Otaku. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment on iTunes. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Popcorn Talk.
Yay!
Welcome everyone. I'm your host Maxwell Song, and you can find me at Maxwell's on the Everything. And everyone introduce themselves.
I am a regular host of the show. I am Chubby Bunny. Nice to see you guys. You can find me ever on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny.
It's me, Yume Warlock. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Yume Warlock, and we are back with Niku-chan this week. Our regular host, Niku-chan. She was missing last week.
Our special guest, Niku-chan, and then our B guest.
Yeah!
Our B guest.
Our B guest.
What's up, everyone? My name is Mal Acevedo. You can find me at Shy Guy Express and at Hyper RPG. I'm a host over there, and I produce stuff there. So check it out, man. Check it out.
Dude, this music is like...
This is a very good opening
hella-
song.
it's hella number music.
It's super hype, which is very indicative of this series. What are we talking about today? We're talking about My Hero Academia. Basically, we were trying to do some sort of weird tie-in with Comic-Con, and we couldn't really think of anything except that My Hero Academia has finally beat the One Piece charts in the Crunchyroll popularity.
Yep, it's huge.
Which is crazy. It's a big deal.
I'm like hurt, but I'm also like, yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a conflicting feeling, but
Yeah.
One Piece has had its reign for a very long time.
We're on 20 years of it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Get it. Time for the new hotness, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep the nuance for a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
checked also on the Shonen Jump Weekly rankings, because they have rankings of theirs.
Yeah.
So this is top 3.
Top 3?
Oh, man.
Wait, One Piece is still like number 1.
One Piece is still number 1, guys, but this is top. I think it's
Close.
3.
Yeah.
Wait,
3.
no, what's 2?
Exploded.
I don't remember.
You're
Oh.
wrong.
But this is 3.
It's just crazy because One Piece is getting like hot right now. It's
Yeah,
like
it really
things
is.
are.
Which is weird because it's wrapping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Or because it's
It's
wrapping
not
up.
really.
it's
I
not-
mean, it's
Well,
not really wrapping
the
up.
author has stated that he's trying to wrap up a series. He's going to be done by, he said, the end of the year, I think.
Oh,
The manga.
What?
No.
I think so.
No.
I
They
love money. I'm going to keep
They
making
still
money.
have like 4 Yonkai to go through. So.
Sorry, bro, but no one even knows what the fucking One Piece is. Real quick, I am monitoring
It's
chat.
friendship.
Thank you guys for coming in. Tanashi's Movie Corner. What's
What's up,
up,
Tanashi?
What up?
Lauren Markland. She's like, teach me about those new animes.
All right.
What's
Thank
up,
you,
Lauren?
thank you, thank you.
Sure. All right. Anime is short for Japanese animation. I'm sure that's where you wanted us to start. Anyway, we are going to talk about kind of the similarities between My Hero Academia and Western comics with our very, very loose tie-in with Comic-Con so that we can use it in our hashtags. But everyone here basically went to Comic-Con except for me because,
It's
I just
true.
didn't really want the mess. But I did play a lot of Splatoon this weekend and see a lot of trailers.
Because Max
but
hates
I did
people.
that.
I do also hate people.
Good choice.
But what was your guys' experience? You guys had fun, right, for the most part?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
good.
For me, it was definitely a lot of work, but then it was like hard work, hard play though, because it was like we literally went like nonstop. We shot a music video. You guys should check out the music video. Get your comics on the floor. We filmed that at Comic-Con. That was
Where
like,
can they find
Get
it?
your comics on
you
the
go,
floor.
just youtube.com/hyperrpg. You'll see it there. Get your comics on the floor. We're really proud of it. So I hope you guys enjoy it and share it and
Wow.
stuff.
Hey,
Wait, so you guys made a series about getting comics at Comic-Con.
A
music video.
A music video.
And we also did a bunch of like
Comic-Con.
reactions and stuff like that to all the news and stuff at Comic-Con. It was
dope.
so we were hustling, man. But man, it was a cool experience to like do work. I've never like worked it and like this. I've only done like booth stuff, but working on the production side and then going out and like to the crazy stuff at night. It's like, ooh.
Let me tell you, as someone that had worked at Comic-Con for like 4 years straight, that it was as an editor, by the way. So it's like I was in a room, but I was also shooting outside, and it was just like going everywhere, and it was like always frantic, always craziness.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you survived.
Thanks, man.
What about you guys?
I would have to say, hands down, the best thing about Comic-Con. Best thing, Blade Runner 2049 experience. That shit was amazing.
You do
Amazing.
VR.
So you do the VR, which is like a car chase in like 2049 LA.
You're flying.
And
It's great.
Once the VR ends, they basically open up a room that basically lands you as if you were like after the car chase, and you go into this basically like experience where you're in the venue that's just like you have like noodle bar there and like all of like.
Yeah, so you're in 2049 Los Angeles, dystopian future. There's actors running around in costume going, "Hey, did you see who did that? Who's the culprit?" And there's police yelling you to move away. It's really awesome.
Crazy immersive, and then you get to get like free noodles that you can go take and eat at the noodle bar.
Yeah.
You get like a little like microchip thing that basically red.
Whiskey. Thank you, Johnny Walker.
Oh yeah, they had the that was the one thing that I was actually like,
Dude.
oh man,
Hashtag
I'm very jealous.
It was
They were like in little vials. I was
And
like,
then you got to like get scanned to see if you were a replicant, and of course I was a replicant.
She was a replicant?
I was a replicant.
I'm not
Check out
surprised.
Twitter. It's on there.
I'm not surprised at all. I have a very important question about that.
Yes.
Did you get to touch Ryan Gosling though?
He was not
At least
there.
in the VR experience, did you get to touch
No,
Ryan Gosling?
you are a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Oh, you are
That's
Ryan
awesome.
Gosling.
And you're chasing a bad dudes, and then you have to use your VR. When it moves, you
have to
focus
scan.
in on stuff, so you
Gotcha.
just scan the bad dudes.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
That's
All right,
legit.
cool.
I'm down.
I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like
It was
pretty
really
Michelle?
fun. And then me, I did almost all the same things that you may did, but I also got to interview from My Hero Academia the voice actors.
What a coincidence.
Actually, it was. We did not play the episode before you did this. The English voice actors from My Hero Academia. So Chris Sabat, who is All Might, and Justin Briner, who is the
Justin,
voice
yeah.
of Deku/Izuku. I can't remember his real name. Like something.
Midoriya.
I know, but I always call him
Deku.
Deku because he's just like Deku is really important to me.
Deku is his.
His name is literally
hero
Green.
name.
Okay, thank you for rejecting me. I know what his name is about. Anyway, and they're just
it's about
awesome
you.
guys. I think they both live in Dallas, so they're not used to all the hubbub and stuff. And for Justin Briner, it was his first Comic-Con, and he's like an adorable little cinnamon roll, and I hope he doesn't take offense to that, but he's just like so pure and like real happy to be part of all of this. Like, 'cause I think it's kind of his breakout role.
Cool.
He's done more voice acting before this, but he was just really excited to be here.
Wait, how old was he?
I don't know how old he was, but he just
I
seemed
saw
like
a picture. He looked like he was like 24.
I don't know how old people are when I see them because I don't see age. But I think he's
Not
a little
an ageist
he's a
like
little
you.
new. At least he's a little new to Comic-Con, and he was there with like his friends, and they were all just like so hype, and it was really nice to see that as an old jaded lady. It's nice to see that. But they talked a lot about the show and why it was so inspiring for them, and then especially that. Because it's inspiring for people to watch it, that they're able to do all this awesome charity work. They go to like military bases and they do signings and they do visits to children's hospitals and stuff. And it's really I didn't know they do that stuff.
That's really cool.
Because they don't really advertise that they do it. They just kind of do it because they want to.
That's awesome.
And Funimation, of course, sponsors that and helps them do that. And,
Cool.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I think that was really really nice that
job,
there are voice
Funimation.
actors giving back to the
The
community.
real heroes.
Yeah.
That is that's
and off
actually
screen.
a very surprising, because I know like a lot of celebrities do that. I just don't know like what is the military stance on My Hero Academia.
Well, if you want to know, I used to work for Tokyopop way back in the day when they did manga. I don't know what they do now. And
they don't exist.
people
now.
always ask for donations for the military because they're stuck in one place for a long time.
Right.
They need things to read and watch because they get bored. They're waiting, basically like on a hold. So people donate a lot of. Material, whether it be DVDs, actual like DVD players, whatever to read their content, and it's kind of it's a little two-sided. It's like you get to read all of our stuff, and we get to you for free, but it's like you're also like it's the only thing you can read. So
Yeah.
so they are. I think Funimation also, and this, I don't know for sure, but I would assume they would donate stuff. When I worked for manga, we always had extra manga. We work in publishing, there's just stuff laying around. So they're like, sure, we'll just give all this extra stock, to the military or to libraries, to schools, so they have something to read.
That's so nice.
Yeah, Weeabee's protecting our country. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. This is only we're gonna try to keep this at 5 minutes.
'Kay.
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Synopsis?
All right.
Trailers.
Oh, trailers. Oh.
Trailers. Real quick. I feel like it's super important because I saw a ton of trailers. Let's start with Blade Runner. Just real quick impressions.
Great.
Speed round, guys. Come on.
Didn't
speed
see
round.
it.
Didn't see it. What's the experience?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
trailer.
I didn't see the trail. White people in the future of Asia.
Okay.
There were no.
true.
It was just white
That's
people.
Looks fun.
Looks great. I'm glad to see Harrison Ford still kicking. And
Who's
let's
worried
see.
about Harrison Ford?
Justice League. See
Oh,
it?
that looks terrible.
Great.
Ezra Miller really likes Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay.
He was dressed in that costume the
He
whole
was
week.
dressed- he
Yeah,
was.
that was amazing.
Yeah. It looks like it'll be fine. It's
This is fine.
It'll be fine. I mean, it'll be like way in more. I think it'll be more enjoyable than the way I've seen.
Oh wait, digitally removing mustaches. That's what
true.
I remember
I just
about
read that today too, because apparently Henry Cavill has a contractually obligated mustache.
Yep.
So that's a weird thing to put in a contract.
Yep.
But it looks like a garbage fire. But to be fair, Joss Whedon is doing the reshoots. So who knows? But reshoots plus old shoots never
I don't know.
being a thing. All right, and I think this is the last one because it's the one that I can only remember. Death Note.
You know what? F that move. F that whole thing.
I heard they tried to put more Asian characters as being abducted and on the sidelines to try to make up the fact that there are no Asian characters.
In Seattle.
I just know, why is this happening? Why is this movie happening?
I don't know.
I heard people who if you guys know Emma Fife, who also shows on AfterBuzz and also works at Hyper and Collider, she saw the whole thing as part of her job, and she just came back to the room.
She saw the whole thing?
It was a press preview. She came back to the room just real like sad and like
Oh my
holding
god!
herself.
Yeah, I saw her face and I was like,
She
I
posted,
knew it, but
if you guys check out Collider, she has a full review over there, and it's not.
She
kind.
looks like she's seen like death itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Ryuk looks like
Death
like
Note. They
shiny
murder her
garbage.
party.
Do you remember that meme that was going around when the trailer came out, and it's like everybody after seeing the Death Note trailer, and it's like the Death Note, and they write Netflix in it?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about
Netflix.
it. Netflix in the Death Note.
It looks ridiculously bad. I have to say that like this sucks because it's like just one more thing. I feel like it's the idea that everyone's running out of stuff to do, and that's why they're also making a One Piece American
I
version.
saw that, and I saw the live action. They're doing a live action.
They're
one.
doing a live action version
Yep.
in the a Western version of, which I guess it's like you're like, oh,
People
Pirates
say
with
Western,
powers.
they're like.
It's usually it's probably gonna be
We're
like
rolling Texas.
When they
and we're
say
cowboys
super
now.
gritty.
When they say Western, they just mean we're going to replace everybody with white.
My name is
Yeah.
Monkey D. Luffy. I'm gonna be the king of the pirates. Bah, 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 bah.
it's like, yeah.
So bad.
We had rubber arms, but I decided that I think blades are way cooler, so he has katana arms now.
They're just gun arms.
They're just gun arms.
Just
Everybody-
guns and cowboy hats.
He's made of monkeys. That was the secret of One Piece.
We're really making Chet upset, by the way. They're all getting
okay,
sad.
sorry.
Sorry.
We're putting that past. And that was our Comic-Con wrap-up. All right, see you next week, guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about My Hero Academia, obviously. I'm sorry
Yay.
that we're getting to it just now.
We got in a very dark place. Right
Yeah.
Dark
But
ass.
that's kind of how I feel about Comic-Con a little bit these days. So I guess if you haven't watched it, this is a quick summary. Basically, the world is filled with people that have these things called quirks. It just sort of appeared in the past couple of generations. So they kind of, it's a part of the story.
They're kind of
where it's
like
3 or
mutants.
4. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like X-Men.
okay, it's like X-Men, except that, you know, it's like the whole population, so it's not very, they're not
Well,
like
not everybody gets quirks.
persecuted against.
Yeah.
It's a very
It's very
small,
small.
a very small percentage
Percentage that doesn't have
that don't
quirks.
have quirks.
Yeah, it's like 5%.
The opposite of mutants.
Yeah.
The opposite of X-Men.
So in a weird way, they're not persecuted, but they're just less useful to society. But then, of course, the great thing about this is that the quirks are so like varied. There's like quirks that don't do anything really. There's quirks that are just very minimal powers, and there's quirks that are like you turn huge or you have
Superhero power.
Yeah.
You're like a you can eat cactuses or be cactuses.
It's like
you know.
one quirk is I crush pistachio shells with my mind, and the other one is like I beat people up by flicking them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like these weird, it's so varied in power, which is really
Layers.
interesting. And the story follows Izuku Midoriya.
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 Oh my
Sorry.
god, dude.
Every time, I always choke on Japanese names when I have
But
to
they
say
say it
them.
over and over and over in the series.
I have a thing where I'm like, you know how there's face blindness? I have name blindness. I can't remember names for the life of me.
Yikes, magikes.
Anyway, so Izuku is a boy that wants to become basically the symbol of hope in this story, which is All Might. He's basically your quintessential superhero, right?
He's like Superman, but
With
like,
like
yeah.
super good eyebrows.
yeah, with
best
super,
eyebrows.
super good looks and super smashes. His power is that he's just
yeah.
ridiculously strong. And then you kind of find out later on that his power is sort of this hereditary.
Spoilers, just spoilers right now.
Spoilers right now.
You don't want
Okay,
to be spoiled. You should
Okay,
watch
this
the
is
show.
this is spoilers, except that it's spoiled in literally 2 episodes.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So
The
if
grain
you,
of salt, except the spoilers. Thank you. Okay.
at this point, if you haven't seen up to that point and don't know that, you should probably not be watching this. Just go watch the series, come back to us.
No, keep watching this. Please keep the numbers
Or just
up.
keep,
Keep watching it, but put on
Please don't sign out. Just turn the volume off.
We'll make like we'll just do this. We'll just wave our arms. Maybe that'll be pretty interesting for YouTube. But basically, Izuku does not have any powers. His power is that he's double jointed in his toes, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And so, you know, like his dream of becoming a super awesome hero has been crushed until he meets All Might in a series of circumstances as one finds themselves in anime.
Yep.
And he ends up being chosen as the heir of One for All. One for All, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
The power of All Might is called. Yeah.
There's a reason for that confusion.
Yikes.
One for All, which is basically All Might's power
Yeah.
to succeed All Might as the beacon of hope, and that's where it starts. And then he starts going to school, and that's kind
Superhero
of where
school.
all of
So anime.
Xavier
revolves
School for
around.
Gifted.
Exactly.
Nope.
Except that it's much bigger. It's much bigger.
Way bigger.
Yeah, it's really a government-run facility.
Yeah.
Like,
It really is.
it's yeah, and so that's where the academia part comes from, and then there's a ton of characters. I'm not going to go through them all.
That
They
are
all very
amazing.
They're all.
interesting.
It's such a colorful
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah,
Everyone.
I feel like the side characters are so much more interesting than the two main rival
I have
kids.
to agree.
I hate those two main rival kids.
Are you
Well,
talking
no.
about Bakugo and Shoto?
Yes. No,
It's a-
Bakugo,
Deck and Midoriya.
Midoriya, and then the grenade hands.
Oh,
Bakugo.
so Bakugo.
Yeah.
So you don't like
Bakugo.
Bakugo,
Okay.
and you don't like the main character.
Midoriya.
Bakugo, it becomes such a great developed character and
Yeah.
like complex. He
becomes the quintessential redhead of anime.
Yes.
This guy.
Yes, he
So
totally
let me explain
does.
to you why I don't like him. From the beginning, he's just literally like, I'm really upset because this kid that I picked on suddenly has powers, and that makes me angry. And I'm like, dude, like, chill the F out.
They like
No,
explain it.
there's
So just so you guys know, you may didn't finish the whole thing.
I watched 9 episodes, and I fell asleep through half of
that's-
them.
Okay, first of all, in 9 episodes, they definitely show that backstory of why.
Okay, so
Yeah.
after the 9 episodes, I still hate him. I find him incredibly annoying, and
He
the
is
main
annoying.
character is incredibly spineless. And I know
That's
it's
not
because
true.
That's
I know
not true.
That's
not
100%
true.
not
I know
true.
it's because they're building it up like, oh, and he doesn't think, and like when it's like go time to save people, I'm like, no, I don't care. I literally sat there, was just like, I hate both of these
What
two.
makes him spineless?
He falls. He just goes for it.
He's such a crybaby.
Oh my,
No,
that,
no.
the
Oh my
whole
God.
point- the whole point is that even though he is weak, he still tries to be a hero, which is literally the first episode. Oh my god, I'm
It's
getting
a
mad right
beautiful
now.
story.
I
Matt, you gotta
hate
fan
these
me.
kids.
Just fan me. Fan me.
Ooh, I
fan
got
me.
you, I got you.
So not to
getting heated.
completely
Getting
support
heated.
Yume's comment, but to add a little bit to it is that I think when you talk about crybabies, to me what that means is when a character is always at a 10 with the crying, like when a character's always like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know, I mean, so you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about your Attack on Titan guy. You're talking about
Yeah.
Eren from Attack on Titan. We're talking
Yeah.
about obviously Midoriya, who's just the voice actors are constantly screaming, and you're like, dude, you got to start from something like 5 and then get to the 10. 'cause
I
they're-
can see that.
They get to the 10 very quickly.
I
It's
mean,
so hard
it's
to
a
me
little
because,
hard.
like, to be fair, you know, like, I like Naruto, and Naruto starts as, like, bottom annoying little kid, and I love him. This Midoriya, I'm just like, all you do is sit down and cry the entire time. And I was like, there's nothing for me to latch on
He
to.
gets so much more developed because in the first like season, he doesn't. The power destroys his body. Of course he's gonna
Yeah.
cry. He's being like torn up. Like,
true.
he is
It's true.
dying every time he
He-
uses his power, and he wants to pursue this and inherit that and like control that power, but he can't.
When
That's
he first
frustrating.
used his power, his arm got multiple.
Yeah, I
bricks
seen
in
that.
it.
Like,
She's like, I seen
that.
Oh,
It was-
it's like you're just like, oh. He
what I
shouldn't
will
cry.
say is that what did keep me from falling asleep is all the side characters. Like, I really like Glasses Boy.
You,
He's a
yeah,
Glasses
yeah,
Boy. I really like
He's
the
my
Frog
fave.
Girl.
Oh,
Froppy.
Frog Girl.
I love
Yeah.
Froppy for president, guys.
She
Oh my
is
God.
so cute. And then
Froppy's great.
I like the anti-gravity girl.
Oh,
Gravity, yeah.
Uraraku.
oh, she's so cute.
So real quick chat, thank you guys for being here and supporting us or not supporting us. Kenji Stormer's like, I
us.
cannot vibe with Deku's disrespect.
Telling you.
Sorry, I just
so you're on team
Deku's
these
really,
boys. And oh
The
my
right
gosh.
team, by the way.
I could literally just watch this like whole thing with like both of those two guys. I like
Okay.
get the
So
F
to
out.
facilitate quickly, what I'm hearing is there's 2 people really into the show. One person really does not like the show, and I am somebody who I did not like the first like
12 episodes.
like three to 6 episodes, because it was just very
It's slow.
cookie cutter.
It's slow.
Yes.
Slow.
Yeah.
It's cookie cutter. You know where it's gonna go, and it really annoyed me. So I actually stopped watching it. This is like last year. Or earlier this year. And then Matt was just like, watch. I was like, fuck, fine, God, you're so annoying. So I just sat down and like while I was working on like physical sewing stuff, I had it playing, and like as it was playing, I'm like, oh, this is getting more interesting. So it's, for me, it got more interesting once it got past the initial problem. And it got into the side characters, his relationship with his other wannabe heroes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it got deeper into the story. Which a lot of deep shows have a problem with the first couple episodes. It's like, how do you introduce the whole world in
remember
a couple
this
minutes?
is a Shonen Jump series.
Yes.
Right.
So the
all
fact
that shonen is hard.
Yeah. Every time a shonen appears, the first couple of chapters, usually the first volume, is very much going to be a shonen formula.
Yeah.
And that's the only real way to keep it going in the beginning. Until then, you start seeing the sparks come out, and then people support it more. But really, it's exactly like Naruto. It's exactly like Bleach.
Totally.
So like in a
Totally.
sense, like I understand why you guys are into it, because like I stuck through like Naruto and Bleach. Like they had some pretty bad like first arcs.
Very bad.
But like I'm at the point where like 9 episodes in, I start to barely see characters that are barely getting screen time, and I'm like, oh, this is like so hard to power through.
But it's going to get better. I 100% promise you. So you just keep at it, and we'll still talk about it. But the reason that we bring this up in particular is, number one, the second season super ramping up. I believe the halfway point of the season has just ended.
Yeah.
And this is where we're starting to get to see some field training of like these kids being heroes. And you saw a little bit of that at the ending of the first season, where they have to fight Nomu, which is one of the villain association's weapons, basically, or like one of the villains association's
I was very like,
guys.
are you an angel from Evangelion? Because that's what you look like.
Yeah, except that if you put like googly eyes on an angel,
We didn't have time to make character design for this, so we just drew a little blob with arms.
and he has like a little brain. His brain is exposed, makes him creepy.
It's
except that he's a crazy threat. And so now we've kind of like gotten to that point where the Villains Association, the League of Villains, I mean, is
Which is
kind of
amazing.
ramping.
The League of Villains.
Well, the Heroes Association is what that's called in this series.
I know, yeah. But it's really
So-
cute that they're just like, we're just the
Yeah.
League of this thing, and I'm the League of this feeling. Fuck you.
And now Farida's brother, who was attacked by the hero killer Stain, which is another arc that they're kind of going through,
Yo,
where
that
these
was
heroes have to.
messed up.
Stain
Yeah.
is a great character.
Stain is a
Is he,
great character.
though?
He is.
His raison d'etre is, I think heroes are stupid, and I think everyone shouldn't believe them.
It's the usual
Society's
flimsy
dumb.
like shonen.
It's like
excuse.
he's like anarchy. That's his
Well, no,
whole
it's
motivation.
not
is
anarchy. It's the fact that it's like.
I don't believe in heroes.
What his heroes, it's basically the heroes being capitalized upon.
Exactly.
You
But
know,
it's
it's
real
like, it's more about like
he explains
society.
in three
you know?
sentences why he three sentences why he's against heroes, and it's real flimsy, guys. Like it's like he carries that through his whole. That's his whole reason for being murdering, like mass murdering people. I'm like that. I think they're gonna add in.
Well, he's
so
a
they're not
bad
done yet.
guy.
They're-
No one
well,
has.
Yeah, he's still a bad guy. For
You
sure.
have to flesh out your villains, otherwise there's no reason to be bad.
I mean, he's well.
Hey,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
he just sort of appears, and then he does have like
I
a
think-
reason. But
I feel like
don't
if
read the
you're
manga,
gonna,
but-
I think if you're gonna make a villain just like completely based on anarchy, you have to go the Heath Ledger Joker route, where he just does not care.
Like he was
Yeah.
what happened to him? Did he was he so disillusioned by society? Did he get did his family get torn apart for him because he didn't have enough money because the
Oh, no, you
Justice
said-
League
oh,
wouldn't blah blah
okay,
blah.
that's
So in
fair.
the
Yeah.
anime, again,
Yeah.
in the anime, they don't explain that yet.
No.
And again, I haven't read the manga, so maybe they
well,
get to that.
no, they don't actually. They don't really.
Well,
they don't really.
the reason you
shonen
Yeah.
villain.
the
I
reason
mean,
you
to be
explain
fair,
that stuff is because it gives them depth of character. When you have 2D characters, you're like, who cares? Why is he
Right.
bad? No one gives a
Okay,
shit.
so on to counter that, to be devil's advocate, he actually does appear again, but in a different manga. That kind of explains his backstory.
Yeah, it's
No.
It's a different one.
Not
It's called
canon.
Vigilante,
Not canon anymore.
Which is no, it is canon actually.
It is canon.
It is a part of the
definitely canon.
series. It's
Is
just
it like a
side-
spin-off?
It is a spin-off.
Is,
but
is it like
it's-
Villain Gaiden?
No, it's basically like vigilantes where they're not a part of the hero association, but they
Right.
want to be heroes.
Yes.
It's a weirdly dark in its own like kind of happier way, but it's much lighter than this show, because this show actually gets very dark.
Oh,
It's
dude, I can't wait.
ridiculously dark.
Gets, oh.
All right, so let me know when it gets dark, and then I'll jump in.
All right.
I mean, actually, now
Yeah,
is
I'll
the
just
time.
jump in. Season 2.
Look,
I just can't make it through this.
just watch the
Because
last
Ida
part
is totally
of the
turning
second
into
season.
Sasuke from Naruto. Just throwing that in there, guys. That's my guess.
Yeah,
That's
a
my guess.
little. He is a little bit. Okay, so why is this important? I think this show is doing so well because it kind of resonates with Western audiences, and the question is, like, you know, is this just shonen, or is this its own thing because it uses such big Western influences? Obviously, that's a convoluted question only because everything takes away from everything. Comics takes away from anime, from old school stuff like Akira, Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah.
and obviously people take from cartoons, Japanese, old school anime, etc., etc. But this is kind of unique in the sense that it's like they're very much, that's a part of their aesthetic, is to have these Western heroes and the Western tropes behind it. So, you know, I just wanted to know, like, do you think that is actually true? Do you think this is unique in the shonen space because of its Western influences? It's kind of a question to
Nope.
see.
I don't think
don't
it's
think so.
so unique, but I do think it's well animated, well drawn, well marketed. Has strong support of the licensing companies here. I'm just talking from a business standpoint. Like, it has strong support of the marketing company, the licensing companies here and in Japan. And I think this show is easier to watch for people who are not. It might be a little easier to watch for people who are not 100% anime fans, because they're like, oh, okay, so it's not just like 100%. Magical sticks and familiars and things. Like, it's not just like wizards, Harry. Like, it's a little more.
I think it's a bit more relatable from the Western.
Yeah. So if you
standpoint.
see a Superman, you see someone who has a superpower, you're like, okay, they have superpowers. Good. You're kind of an X-Man, dunzo, and that's a little easier for people to handle. And there's tropes in this, but it's not so heavy-handed with like, we're in school now and we have a love triangle. Like, they just kind of skip over that shit because it's shonen.
Because even like All Might, like when you look at his design, he's very clearly modeled after like Western comic
Oh,
yeah.
heroes. Like, it's just like you can see the influences.
Yeah,
there.
he's blonde, he's huge, he's like
He's got his,
crazy.
like-
His
yeah.
catchphrases are like American things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's got like the kind of like duo-toned like tights and like things like, you know, like how in anime when people have like gloves and shoes, like it's usually really crazy at the ends, but like in comic books it's just like a line
yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
the spandex. You know?
Yeah. They
It's
all do.
very
They
much
do.
like
They all
that.
do have spandexy outfits.
Yeah, it's
actually.
very
Yeah.
American
So,
versus like
I-
I feel like Midoriya, like he's a bit more like a common rider looking because of the helmet.
But
you
he
know?
actually, you know what he looks like? He looks like, you know, Max, M-A-X-X?
Yeah,
where-
the Max.
The
yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
where his like mouth has like those teeth
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's very like you can
Yeah.
see the influences.
So, I mean, I feel like that is kind of what makes this fun. You know what I mean? It is taking that Western influence and kind of like throwing it into the Japanese like trope
Yeah.
scape. But like the costumes I felt were very much the one thing that kind of like make it interesting, because there's always like this structure, right? Like Naruto, they're ninjas, so they're
Yeah.
all ninjas. They all kind of use chakra ninja powers,
Yeah.
right? Or Bleach, they all use Shinigami powers. Or One Piece, it's like all pirate fruit powers. This one, even though it's called quirks, there's no real rhyme or reason behind it. I mean, I guess Bleach is definitely just have no rhyme or reason behind it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I get what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
quirks here, it's definitely more like X-Men. Like you can
Yeah.
see the kind of Western influence of like these powers do these things.
Yeah, and it's always like this kind of like the fact, or what I find most interesting is that there's so many different physical forms to everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
It's the fact that like you can just have like this Birdman and guy who shoots cellophane out of his elbows. Like, I feel like the ridiculousness of some of those powers is very much where like you take from Western
Yeah.
influence. You know what I mean? It's like it's all basically chaos, but it's fun chaos, which is
Fun chaos is always a good thing.
it's comics, you know,
Yeah,
like
comic books.
And I feel like versus like anime, usually like I feel when they have superhero stuff, like a lot of it's derived from like a socially Japanese kind of standpoint. Like, you know, you have like Bleach, which is very much like traditionally Japanese influences, whereas this one is just very like this is pop culture related.
Yeah. And it's I guess it's less. I want it to be something more unique. I feel like I want them to wear that kind of influence on their sleeves. You know what I mean?
I gotta say too, like even for me, sometimes like they'll go back into the classroom environment, and it's like, oh shit, we're kind of stuck in this classroom thing for a little bit. It's like,
it's a giant trope.
Yeah, and like that to me, like that's it. Just I kind of want them to break that a little more.
Yeah. I was excited with the USJ. Because that was like, oh, we're just doing battles now, like little team battles, and that seems more American to me.
Yeah.
But then right after that, they went back to like, and now it's the school festival season. Get ready for 10 episodes of everyone fighting each other. And I was like, fudge.
Yeah, and that's where it kind of always like, that's where the ups and downs go,
But
right?
when they get into the field, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, the stuff in the field is way better and more original to me.
It's because I think when they go into field, it's definitely more like a Western comics. Like you said, it's more team-based fighting villains versus like the Japanese influence of these are teenagers and it's a school life, but they just happen to have these powers.
I guess for me, that's where the difference is. Like, it definitely feels like a shonen show when they're in the classroom environment, and then when they go into the field, it's a lot of like Western.
It's like it seems more chaotic. There's no rules.
Exactly.
But when the classroom, there's going to be certain things that happen. There's going to be teachers moderating things.
Main character's going to sit in the second to last row by the window.
Yeah, and then obviously everyone's like literally sitting in the stands commentating, and it's like, guys, like Shokugeki, it does that so much.
Yeah.
And I thought the show was so much stronger when it was just them hanging out and cooking and talking shit.
Yeah.
But then when they got to the stadium setting, I was just like, God, I have to watch all these guys fucking beat each other now. I think that's a great failing in shonen, and why I don't like a lot of it.
Yeah, it's
But the show is a little half and half. It's getting to be a different place right now.
I feel like it's growing a little bit because they are throwing in I guess another good Western trope that you see is sort of like the League of Villains. It's just sort of like every force has a counterforce, and
that's where it gets like really, I think, interesting later. I don't know. I don't know.
It's kind of like a weird like Western trope thing to always have an association, or like it's
like
always
the
like
League of Calamitous Intent in Adventure Brothers,
the Justice League, anything with the word league in it, literally.
It's a very like American thing.
And where it gets very Western inspired is where All Might is like his whole purpose is I have to be this figure of peace. I can't be seen with weakness. I can't be seen in my true form. I can't. Like he needs to be
shining
perfect.
beacon.
Like he needs to be like Superman, basically.
That's a really interesting side story. I really like the All Might has that.
All Might side.
There's so much.
Oh my god.
There's so much. But we won't talk about that because
future.
the anime hasn't caught up and it never will.
Never. There's so much.
But and this is just a quick thing. It's like if there wasn't anything quintessentially more American, All Might's powers is Texas Smash, Detroit Smash, Missouri Smash.
They're all based off of like
Smash,
states and cities.
So
New Hampshire Smash.
Is he just listing states and smashing them?
Oklahoma Smash and United States Smash.
So that's all the states he smashes at once.
I mean, there should.
I wonder what the rhyme or reason is behind choosing these specific states, and like, why is it Detroit and not Michigan?
Yeah, because
what the fuck?
Detroit Smash.
Because
I was like,
I'm originally from Michigan, which we also call the Murder Mitten.
Yeah, because Detroit. Because what you do when you Detroit Smash, you destroy an auto industry
So
forever.
he should be like, he should call it like Murder Smash after the murder state.
Yeah,
Murder
indeed.
Mitten.
He holds Murder Mitten.
Yeah, why is there no LA Smash where they just like mix massive amounts of traffic?
He should just call it like the LA Quake.
It seems like
it
seems like in Japanese culture, it's like what does American sound like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carolina's pretty homely. I have no clue. I feel like they just like had a map. Map
They
of the
just
United
picked
States.
some.
This one.
Yeah.
That would be
They're
interesting.
Just throwing darts.
Oh man.
I wonder if there's some like weird kanji involved where it's like Detroit actually stands for Justice Fist, like in the kanji, but reads like Detroit. I know that's not how kanji works. Okay, so some series that are kind of close to this, I guess, I thought would be pretty interesting, just because The Reflection just came out as well, which is another. Which I told you guys to watch, but I guess no one watched.
We really didn't
not watch
listen
it.
to anything
So
you
it's on
said.
You told us to watch something the week of Comic-Con.
Okay.
Wait, is
fair
it the
enough.
Stan Lee one?
It was a Stan Lee one.
Oh, that's right.
It's a Stan Lee endorsed one. He had
He's in
nothing
it.
really to do with
He's
it.
in
That's
it.
awesome.
Do you have a
but
cameo?
he narrates. He's a narrator.
Oh, he's so old.
Yeah, he's very old.
He's great.
But he
95.
will live forever, I'm pretty sure. So The Reflection is kind of the same premise, except that it's like much grittier and way more Western. Like the style that it's in is way Western. It's kind of like all cell shaded. It looks like comic book, like I guess cutouts basically. And there's a dude that looks like Sky High from Tiger and Bunny.
I love Tiger Bunny.
Yeah.
Another
And-
Western influenced anime.
Yeah.
And so he's fighting in New York, and this is sort of where the comic part comes in. And the American flag is behind him, right? And then it's playing as he fights this Batman, who is a man that is also a bat. He's just like running around and punching this bad guy, and this song is playing about the sky basically, or like flying high or whatever. And it's like an American song, and it's just like all this craziness. And every time he hits someone, it says "pow" on the screens and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's very much like we want this to be a comic show.
Yeah.
But it's very. It's
But are
kind of,
they flaunching it as an anime or what's
it's
going on with
actually,
the marketing?
it feels very much like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's very grounded. Like all the people that are heroes are all freelancers
Okay.
that are working for the
Yeah.
government. They're trying to basically catch these people that have.
boring.
Yeah, the thing is called the reflection.
I can't even listen to your description. I like don't care about anybody.
What's this? The Avengers
Well, I'm
lol.
sorry that I still have passion for these things.
The Avengers lol.
Oh, and also the
Avengers,
Avengers, the many different version of the Avengers that you
Yeah.
see. There was that one where it was like you're a kid and they have like these little toys, and then it's like these discs that allow you to become the Avengers, and then you fight Loki.
Moving right along,
I don't
it's
remember
like this. Is what you're trying to say? Reflection is like this.
No, I'm saying that those are just another
Not
things that
like
you might be.
this?
Hey, okay, just because you're not interested doesn't mean you can shit on my parade of
I'm
interest.
just challenging you to tell the viewer why we're talking about this.
All right, favorite moments. Quickly.
Favorite moments.
I really like anytime Deku / Midoriya is like, time for a plan, motherfuckers, and he like makes a plan to figure out how to beat the insurmountable odds. The first time you really see it, but the first time you see it with his dumb power that instantly breaks all of his bones in his body is when he's like, oh, all I gotta do, I don't have to break all my bones in my body, just throw this ball really far.
couple
I can just break my
Finger.
index
Just one
finger. So I thought that was really interesting that they started taking a twist on the this is impossible, why it's so impossible, and I like that, and I like that him. Honestly, my favorite thing is his friendships with his friends.
Yeah.
That's the
I
best.
It's
feel
really the
like my
characters.
favorite moment of all the episodes I've watched, all 9, is their homeroom teacher when he has to like catch the grenade hands,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I told you not to make me use my thing because I have dry eyes." I thought that was like so freaking
great,
hilarious
yeah.
because like his whole thing is that like I don't like to work because I have dry eyes.
Yeah, his,
he has to keep his eyes open.
Perk,
Yeah.
his perk is that like
quirk,
he can
yeah,
look
quirk.
at quirk. Sorry, his well
That he
perk,
can
quirk,
erase,
whatever.
like-
he can erase
Quirk.
powers,
Quirk.
and so but he has to be looking at them. That means his eyes have to stay open. Hence, dry eyes. Great character
It's a
development.
great character.
Oh, it's a great
like
character.
he's
His
another one
dialogue
of my
is so
favorites.
good.
I was like, can we get more of him because I like the whole dry eye.
Oh, you'll see
bit.
more of him.
You know what's
You'll see
great
more.
too is that like his design is fantastic because like apparently like he can touch someone and then cancel out his power. That's why he has the bandages. But the best is that he has like these shutter shades, so you can't
Yeah.
tell where
You can't
he's
tell
looking.
he's looking.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I like it when like the media comes out and they're like, "Why are you so scruffy looking?" as he's walking away. Just like the comments,
Yeah.
like when people are like, "Where's All Might?" and then one lady's like, "Why are you so scruffy looking?"
Everyone just shits on him. It's sad.
Yeah, it's great though.
I think my favorite, I have a couple. Really quick is of course the fight between Midoriya and Todoroki was so cool and so
yeah.
well animated, so well done. But I think anytime All Might and Midoriya and All Might kind of treats him like kind of like a father figure.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love those moments, especially like later. I'm like, oh man. And then anytime All Might says, "I am here," especially at the end of the credits where he's like, "The credits are here."
Yeah. Any.
Just like real dumb meta stuff is
Yeah.
really cute in that show.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah.
I mean, because Plus Ultra is his like go-to like saying anytime he defeats evil, which
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? You can't just without context be like Plus Ultra. Like,
yeah.
why are you saying that? It makes no sense. But it doesn't matter because he is a beacon of hope and he can say whatever the hell he,
He can say
wants to.
whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Slurp.
Basically, man, the animation in this show is just
So good.
so good.
Oh.
Like the fight with Shoto. First of all, that Shoto backstory, which I know
It's
you have no
real.
clue what I'm talking about, but is really good. It's kind of about like his relationship with the number 2 hero, his father, Endeavor, and his mother. And because
It's
he is a product,
up.
yeah, he is a
It is some Avatar level shit, guys.
Yeah.
Last Airbender, Last Airbender.
It's crazy. He is a product of basically quark breeding. So his his father's power is fire, and his mother's power is ice, and that's why he has both of them.
Oh, it's the half and half, bro.
And that's why he's sad all the time.
You gotta explain to me, like, what do they look like?
Oh,
I don't remember the names.
He's like a really great character.
He literally looks like the guy from Avatar who has a burn face.
The friendship between him
that guy.
and Midoriya that evolves is really cool.
In the beginning, he is
like Gara. He's like Gara. He's Gara.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's so
the
cold.
worst.
He's so
Okay, Gara. Now I can relate to it.
Yeah, actually, they were saying that he's actually more like Neji.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I'll
he's
get
really
that.
more Neji
So he's
character.
gonna die forever.
Oh, he's gonna die.
That's why I said, I was like, don't call him that. Don't you dare call him that.
Right.
And then basically Froppy is the best.
Oh,
Froppy is so cute.
She is so
Froppy
cute.
Is really, if she had her own spin-off anime,
I would only watch that.
I'd watch that. It would be like, she would have to be like an environmental explorer or something. I would love it.
I think
Totally watch
I think I love Froppy. My favorite hero though, and I want more of her really bad is oh my gosh, what's her name?
The Creation Girl?
Yeah, not Momo.
Earphones girl?
Earphones Girl? No,
she's
Poison
from
Girl. Poison Girl.
She's from the support class.
Oh, she just makes a bunch of shit. Yeah.
I forgot her
Support
name.
class is the best class, but yeah.
She has the little cross glasses.
Goggles. Yeah.
Pink hair. What's her name?
No one knows.
I
Whenever
can't remember it.
internet, you
I
Google
told you,
yourself.
Name blindness. I'll describe the crap out of her. Anyway,
But she's great. I think
great.
she's so fun, and like I like seeing her use her quirk for support. Like it's really, I think she's just really fun and fleshed out. Especially like when we see her again in the manga later, she'll show up again. But even
she'll
then,
have
I'm like,
a
she's
fun.
such a fun character. I love her so
What a
much.
fun girl.
Anyway, so unfortunately, that's the amount of time we have for this week.
It is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Sorry that we started so late. But next time we won't have Comic-Con. And maybe we will talk about this once the season wraps up. So
Yeah, so
I
what do we have
watched
for-
more than 9 episodes.
Yeah, please watch more than 9 episodes.
Please watch more. So we'll be back again next week talking about Japanese variety shows, and maybe we'll even do a little variety show of our own.
Oh.
Who knows?
May.
What?
May Hitsume. Sorry.
God damn it.
All right.
God damn
You got it. You got it. All right. So, anything? You got anything to plug?
Yes,
for yourself?
guys, go check out Hyper RPG, twitch.tv/Hyper RPG, and we have a giant our Hyperdrive coming this Saturday. It's nostalgia theme, so from noon to midnight, we're gonna have Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG, Scooby-Doo RPG,
Wow.
Radiant Space Jam, and we're gonna end the night with improv and our second Hyper Sketch like SNL type show for Twitch. So tune in Hyperdrive this Saturday, noon.
So
Yeah,
much.
thanks for joining us
much.
tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And where can they find you guys?
At Shy Guy Express.
At I am Chubby Bunny everywhere on the internet.
At Yume Warlock.
And you can find me at Max Salt on the everything. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Plus Ultra.
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network. We would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.